Hey everybody, DJ Mikie Mike here. Just a little talk about this past weekend. Like I said, this is Wisdom Wednesday. Well, this past weekend, did a gig, Roaring Twenties. Excellent time. Only mistake I made is I didn't have a contact person to go to. Got the gig from another DJ who had done previous gigs for this organization. They have their Roaring Twenties, and I questioned him. I said, "What do you play?" He said, "Mike, what I play is the Roaring Twenties, but it's like one or two songs of that, and then I bounce to some songs from the 50s, some songs from the 60s, some 70s, 80s, then back to the Roaring Twenties. I make, back and forth." So I said, "Yeah, okay, definitely, I'll do it. You're booked. I'll take the job. That's great." And talked to the owner or manager of the venue, and also asked him. I said, "Do you know who, or do I have a contact person?" He said, "No." He said, he didn't have really a true contact person either. He was contacting different people about their Roaring Twenties night at the venue. So I asked him, I said, what kind of music do they want? And he said, Mike, from what he understood is downstairs in the venue, they were going to have their cocktail hour. For dinner, they're going to come upstairs and play, Frank Sinatra. Sorry about that little mix-up, Frankie. Dean Martin, Michael Bublé, Harry Connick, some jazz music, and then once they get ready for their Roaring Twenties party, you could start throwing some Roaring Twenties on. Which I said, okay, great, perfect. He said, but you can mix it up, throw some 50s on, some 60s, 70s, 80s. He said, whatever they really want. He said, but off and on, you have to throw some Roaring Twenties music. And I said, great. So, I did a lot of research on the Roaring Twenties. And you get so used to DJing the music of today. Weddings, they go from the 50s right up to through the present day. Graduation parties are basically the same way. Some 50s music, but then music of today. And then Sweet 16s is basically music of today. But this Roaring 20s parties, which I've never did a Roaring 20s party before, did a Great Gatsby party, a couple of them, and they basically wanted music from the album of The Great Gatsby. And then 50s and 60s, some today's music also. So I got schooled on this party. Got there, got all set up. Came back home, took a shower because the venue was only about 3 miles away from my house. Got back down there for 6 o'clock. I'm waiting for the guests to come upstairs because their cocktail hour started at 5. So we were supposed to be up there at 6 o'clock, up in the dining area. 6 o'clock comes nobody. 7 o'clock, nobody. About 7:15, this younger lady comes up to me and she goes, "You're the DJ?" I said, "Yes, I'm DJ Mikie Mike." She says, "It's nice to meet you." She said, "I got a bag of CDs here for you, the music that we want to hear for tonight." I looked at her, I said, "CDs? For the music you want to hear tonight?" I said, "I'm a total digital DJ." She said, "What do you mean by totally digital DJ?" I said, "Well, I have my MacBook Pro. That doesn't have no place to put CDs in. I have my backup PC with me, which I always bring a backup system with me." I said, "That doesn't have a CD tray in it either." I said, "Basically, you either stream the music or you have the music, or you buy the music, She goes to me, she says, "Mike, I have no clue." She says, I just bought a computer for myself at home, a laptop, but that has a CD tray in it and a DVD burner in it. I said, "Well, that's a home computer for your own personal use. This is for me for DJing, and it's basically a professional computer, and it's just for DJing. That's all I use it for. Both systems." I said, "I do have another system, which I very rarely bring to a venue with me or an event with me, unless one of my other systems go down. I said, that does have a CD player on it, but I wasn't prepared for you to come up to me with CDs. So I said, if you could give me a list of the artists that you want to hear. And I showed her what I had already purchased and what was on the different record pools they belong to. And she went through my music list and she goes, oh yeah, okay, this artist is good, this artist is good, this artist is good, but not those songs. You have to get these songs. I'm like, well, it's the Roaring Twenties, but she knew more about the Roaring Twenties than I did. And I did my research for over 3 weeks on it, and I went, checked out YouTube, Roaring Twenties from 1921, 1922, 23, 24, right up to 1929. And like the top hits of that year. Googled it, the top hits from 1929 back down to 1921. So I got all that music, but it wasn't the exact Roaring Twenties that they wanted to hear, or she wanted to hear. So, thank God she did come up, a half hour early, because the guests didn't start coming up into the room till about 7:30, 7:45. So I did end up getting 95% of their music, which worked out great. People were dancing. Food was served, the salad was served. People were up and dancing. Then they sat back down, ate their salad. Dinner came out. Dinner was amazing. Food was unbelievable. But even during dinner, she wanted to stick to that Roaring Twenties genre, which I was told, during dinner hour, you're going to be playing Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, stuff like that. Well, she's the new president of this organization, and it wasn't that way. It was Roaring Twenties. So, lo and behold, I'm playing this music, and people who should have been sitting down eating are up dancing. Then they sit back down, eat a little bit, get back up and dance again. They got done eating, got dessert. Again, same thing. Sat down, ate a little bit of dessert, back up dancing again. So overall, it was a great, great night. Handed out a lot of cards. I was thanked by basically every guest that was there. Their style of dancing was unbelievable. I couldn't get over it. Some of the gentlemen that were up in age, I don't want to say old because I'm 57, but they danced phenomenal. Women, phenomenal. Unbelievable. Their style of dancing from the 20s. Now, you really think about it, that was the Roaring Twenties. That was 1921, 22, 23, 24, up to 1929. We're in the year 2022. That music is 100 years old. And people are still into it. So, for me, I'm saying I was schooled, which I was. The schooling was learning that music from that era. And there is differences in the songs. Music may sound the same, but it isn't. To their ear, they know the difference. To my ear, it sounded just as like the song prior to it. It's like playing polkas for 5 or 6 hours. Polkas all become sound the same. So, if you are doing an event, please make sure you get a contact person. Talk to them. They may need music. Download it. They may have CDs that you could take, get off them, and hopefully you have a system that you could put that CD in there and rip the CD onto a hard drive, then transfer them over to your DJ drive. Always be prepared. I was prepared to what I thought was the Roaring Twenties. It was all the top 10s or top 25s from each year, but it wasn't their top 10s or top 25s. The one artist, he not only did Roaring Twenties, but he also did polkas. And I knew not to purchase any of the polka music, but the songs I did purchase from him, they were the songs that she wanted, so which was a great thing. And I told her, I said, it's funny because this gentleman did Roaring Twenties music, then he also did polkas, then he did like a mashup. You know, today's world, these DJs and stuff are doing mashups of different songs that are together. This is going back 100 years ago. And this artist, he did a mashup of his own music. He started off with a polka, went into the Roaring Twenties music, then back to polka, and then back to the Roaring Twenties, and finished that one song off with a polka. Then another one, so he was doing the Roaring Twenties and brought a polka into it, and then back to the Roaring Twenties. It was phenomenal. Again, that was 100 years ago that this artist did that. And now we have artists doing it today. And a lot of people think, oh, wow, this is great. You know, mashups of this song, mashups of that song. Believe me, it started over 100 years ago, these mashups. Again, I was schooled. This lady that I dealt with, she was schooled. She didn't know the difference between a DJ system. She thought, you know, we have CD players in our computers now and this and that. Everything I own, except for my one laptop, they don't have CD players in them. They don't have DVD players in them. Everything's just streaming it. Or you purchase the music, you put it on your hard drive, and then away you go. So she learned a lesson. I learned a lesson. Everything came out perfect. Had a great night. Met a bunch of nice people, and I loved the way they danced. Matter of fact, I'm going to upload some videos, some still pictures of them dancing, of them floating around the room so gracefully. It was unreal. So if you get a chance, check them out. They're going to follow this video here, and then hopefully you'll like that. Pictures, like those videos. I'm going to have to kill the music on them because, you know, YouTube, they'll be flagging it. Remember, like and subscribe to DJ Mikie Mike. And also, I want to give a big shout out to djntv. Check them out. They're unbelievable. Bunch of great DJs on there. And if you get a chance, go to DJ Chill Room. It's www.djntv.com/chill room. It's amazing. You get into this room, there's a bunch of amazing DJs. If you have questions, like I said in my previous video, there's DJs that are there. They'll help you. They will help you get an answer to your problem. Or maybe there's something that you're doing that they don't know of. So you could tell them what you're doing. We all work together. We're one big happy family trying to stay together. You know, it's been crazy for the last year and a half. This last year we finally reopened and we're able to DJ again. So give these guys a shout out. Check out djntv. Monday nights, MJ, Dan, and John Young, they have a show. Followed up by Howie Darkstar. He usually has his show, but that's on the chill room. You'll have to mute your microphone and also kill your video. You could watch them. You could hear them. Then after he's done, which is usually about an hour, you could just join into the chill room. It's an open format right there. They're not videotaping it then, or recording it, should I say. But again, check out djntv. Remember, like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Like Brian S. Red would say, practice and enjoy. Peace, love, happiness, and joy. Be safe out there, people. Talk to you soon. DJ Mikie Mike is out.